what's one of the most underrated aspects of you when it comes to people thinking about you?
In terms of like preparation, being an athlete, what?
Yeah, preparation, being an athlete, just or even just your personality.
Man, I'm honestly really funny. It's just that when I'm on the track, I'm so locked in. I don't really show as much. But I don't know, if I move down in events, I might have more freedom to do that. It's just when you're preparing for a 400 hurdle race and you're thinking about stride pattern, you're thinking about steps, landings, all these things, and just the stiffness of, you know, everybody having their attention on you and what you're about to do. Sometimes you don't feel as much freedom to show that, especially the high level of performance in which we are often trying to obtain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm funny. I don't know.
So
people who know me know.
So you have a little goofy side to you?
Yeah.
I've seen it in the
We've seen it.
TikToks.
You've seen it in TikToks.
I've seen it in the TikTok.
I know my first interaction outside of just being in person, like watching you online, you would go online and be on there on live.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, like interacting with your fans. Yeah. And definitely seen your funny side with T, Real Talk with T, right?
Shout out to T.
Shout out to T.
Shout out to T.
So you think that you're going to start to work on bringing a little bit more out of that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Me and my husband have talked quite a bit about this. I think there was a period there where I was so full-fledged into all of that, to the point where, I mean, the more you're on social media, the more you give yourself to the world, the more susceptible you are to what that brings. And I think I made myself almost too open, to a sense where, you know, you're now taking in all the criticisms, you're taking in as much love as you are hate. And I stopped the lives because someone literally pantsed me on live one day. So that's why I was like, all right, we're done.
Okay.
You guys took this privilege away. We're not doing this anymore.
Like somebody like
quite literally,
like
yes.
pantsed you.
Like,
I know your husband wasn't around because he's huge.
No.
He's huge.
I hadn't met him yet.
What's the IP address?
He couldn't have been close.
No, man. I hadn't met him.
Hey, the husband's a big human too, man.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a big human, dog.
You would have looked and thought about passing and then looked at him and was like, it's not a good idea.
I'm all right.
Not a good idea.
Yeah. But I think there was a period there where I was like, I need to just focus on what I'm trying to do, you know, and create some stability within my career. And I think I've reached a place where I feel like, okay, I feel like I'm in a good place. I feel like we've accomplished quite a bit. Obviously, there's still more to go and there's more we're working towards. However, I do feel like I can open up a bit more and share different sides of me. And I feel like I'm in a place career-wise and personally to where I feel comfortable doing that.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I think with the newfound fame that you have, right? You may not say you're famous, but in our world, you are famous, right? You can't monitor how fame happens for everyone. Fame happens very differently, in which you had to show as you grew as an athlete, got more viewers, things you start to look at, the positive and the negatives of what your fame brought. How have you handled that? And how have your faith helped you handle and manage that?
It's a great question. I think in the beginning of my career, and this is kind of before, you know, my faith came into the picture, I wanted all of it. I wanted all the attention, all the fame, all the money, all the things. I was feeding off of that. That was my source of life, to be honest. That's why I was so big into the social media, so big into getting dressed up and taking all the pictures and, you know, like just wanting to feel that validation from people. That was where I got my peace. And then, of course, being on the track, you know. But at the end of the day, whether it's social media, whether it's track and field, whether it's money, whether it's relationships, those things will never satisfy you. And they're always changing. And I think to have that be my foundation was constantly why I was so anxious all the time, because I was placing my hope in things that were constantly shifting and ultimately were not made to be my ultimate source of peace. And so that's why my faith completely shifted everything during COVID, because I realized, first of all, I'm not in control of my own life, nor was I ever meant to be. And to have things like track and field or relationships or status be my my source was, first of all, stealing the glory from God, and second of all, a misconception of what was Lord, right? And so Christ was so kind to reveal the truth to me, and for me to have my hope and faith in something that is steadfast, unchanging, undefiled, and unfading, and perfect in Him and what He's secured for me, gives me the freedom now to be who He's called me to be, and to live a life that honors and glorifies Him, and doesn't need to be validated by man or people or track and field or money. But those are now opportunities to point the glory back to Him and the gifts He's given me.
I'm glad you found that on your way to fame and money and success, because it's very easily to say it's me once you have success.
Right.
So people more look to themselves once they're as successful as you, now that they have the money. Oh yeah, it's my decision, it's this, this. But if you did that on the way up, meaning if you was to lose it all today,
100%.
you can still be close to your faith.
100%.